Hey guys, Production Music Live, and today we are making this dark bass. This preset is out of the Boiler Production preset pack here. As you can see, we have some automations here playing, and we have a lot of other options here as well to manipulate the sound. And yeah, let's do this nice bass sound here from scratch. Let me quickly show you the notes again. We have in C, then notice the D comes earlier here. This is one bar, by the way. And then we are dropping to an G and going up to an A and holding this note for over 2 bars. This is dropping earlier as well. And then it just repeats. So what do we have to do first? Let's go on File and New Sound. So this is a different preset patch just to make sure we have the same one. The first thing we're going to do is taking the smooth square wavetable here, and we are setting the wavetable position to 12 o'clock. Down with the intensity, we are pitching this down by 1 octave, and then we're going here and taking this format, and with the intensity now you are controlling the amount of this format modulation. Okay, let's quickly have a listen how this sounds. So obviously we need some sub basses. We are going to take the sine to square wavetable. You can also take the sine to triangle, because we are moving this wavetable position button all the way down to sine, intensity to around here, and then we're just decreasing the amp a little bit and pitching this down by 24. Okay, first thing we're going to do is taking an envelope and assigning it to this field here, decreasing it to -12 semitones. And let's have a first listen. And now we have to shape the envelope a bit. So we're moving down with the attack, moving down with the decay to about 9 o'clock, and then sustain all the way down and release here as well. And let's have another listen. So we have this kind of pitch start effect. So now let's move on and let's add some filters. And first thing we're going to do is set this up to serial mode. This means the signal is going first through filter 1 and then through filter 2 and then out. So for the first filter we are going to take the scream. Move down the cutoff, the scream filter here as well, and the resonance. And let's assign here an envelope to it. We're taking full range and we are applying the same envelope here to the scream filter as well, but just a tiny bit. So and now let's shape the envelope. We're going down with the attack. We're going down with the level. So you could also like reduce the range, but we are just taking this level for now to around 2 o'clock and then decay to around 11 and sustain all the way down. Yeah, let's have a listen. We're going to filter 2. We are moving this up. So this is the volume of the filter. And then we are going to take a low pass 4 filter here, cut off to around 9 o'clock and resonance all the way down. Doesn't change anything. This is because this mix button here is all the way to mix 1. This means now the signal is just going through serial, through filter 1 and then out. We are moving this down. Now it goes through filter 1, then through filter 2 and then out. If we would like set this on parallel mode, the signal would just go through filter 2 and then out. So this one has to be on serial mode and this one to mix 2. Now let's listen in again. Like we expected, we cut a lot of the higher frequencies and of the mids away. Okay, so before we move on, let's start to assign some macros. What we have to do is we're clearing this macro here. We need all 8 macros. We're taking this first macro and assigning it to the intensity to around 10 o'clock. And we can just call this filter 1. So we're taking another macro and we're going from 9 o'clock to full up. We're calling this one filter 2. Now let's open up this filter a bit, like to around here, and let's move on. We have another filter option. We are just taking this macro here, assigning it to the scream filter, and then all the way up, and calling this filter number 3. Okay, then let's move to the modulation section. And now we're doing a cool thing. Normally, you are transposing this up or down by 12 or 24 and so on semitones, so an octave. But this time we are just transposing it down by -8. Then we are applying this ring modulation to the first oscillator. Then just move down the ring modulation and we are taking macro number 5. I take macro number 5 to make sure that I can just later copy the automation here. Give it full range and let's listen to the effect. Ring modulation. We're doing another thing here at the modulation tab. We're taking the third envelope and assigning it here, pitching this down by -8 as well. Now we're going down with the level and we're going down with this sustain level and we're moving this decay up. Release can go down here as well, and let's take another macro here and we are assigning it to the level and we are assigning it to the sustain here as well. We can call this modulation envelope. First we have to open up the ring modulation and then we can open up this one. Otherwise we won't hear effect because there is no modulation applied if this macro is down. Okay, nice. Let's go to the voicing tab and we're putting this on unisono 3. And we're going here to monorate. This is important for basses. And this monorate here is removing clicks of the sub basses. You might sometimes, if you create a bass, you have those nasty clicks at the end. Let's go to the oscillation tab. And we can assign another macro here to it. We're calling this glide, but we don't have to apply it. Okay, and now it comes another important thing. always check out how your sound is sounding with Restart via Gate button. This means this controls the exact starting point of those wavetables. So you can give them different starting points, but we want to have this on 0. Especially if you're playing more voices here on this unisono button, this is getting important here. So let's listen in again. What a huge difference, huh? So much more power added, because now those different patches of the same wavetable are not canceling each other out anymore, because they're getting told to start exact the same. But if this is activated here, you can't pan your sound to the sides. So this makes no difference if I'm going back to Restart via Gate and deactivating this. And if you want to have this kind of stereo effect on your bass, you can just later duplicate your track, deactivating this Restart via Gate. Then you're setting this to the amount you want to have, and then you're cutting away the lower frequencies. So, but we don't need this. We can just go back here, activate this Restart via Gate button. Now let's add some effects, and we're going to take the classic tube here, decreasing here the tri-wet a bit, and we're taking another macro. And then we are just moving on to FX number 2, and we are selecting this flanger positive. And we are reducing the tri-wet here, the rate as well, feedback down, depth all the way up. And now finally let's go to the EQ section, and we are moving this frequency button here down and boosting this selected frequency here. And you're giving it some low shelf. And then we're just turning down here this volume button. And as you can hear, if you adding this flanger plus, you're also adding some stereo effect. Then let's call this fourth macro, let's call this tube. And we want to add a little bit more of distortion, so we're activating this insert here, and we're taking the parabolic shaper, drive around here, and drive it can stay like this. So now we have another macro here, and we can assign this to the resonance, give it some range, and let's listen what this does. Okay, nice, we have our patch. This preset is called Moogish. Check out the link in the description for the Boiler Production preset pack. Subscribe to our channel, visit us on productionmusiclive.com, and I hope to see you next time.